Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Tonight I want to talk to you about competition. I'm out in the garage tonight doing a little bit of knick-knack stuff, but I wanted to take a minute and I get a lot of comments. How do you deal with competition in your area? And you know, they saying they can't find work or there's too much in the area. Well, if you're starting out, you're gonna have that. Until you build up a presence for your own business, you're gonna have competition. The only way you're gonna fight that is it's gonna take roughly 3 to 5 years to establish yourself where you have repeat customers that they only call you. So if you're starting out, you're fighting with everybody. You're fighting with, the whole shebang, and especially doing trees. You're fighting with everybody, Joe Blow and everybody. So, until you build up a good name and get yourself out there, it's going to take a little while to do it, a couple minutes. It's going to take you some time to get yourself going good. But the first thing I would suggest you do is, if you're starting out, find what your competition and how they price. Eventually, you'll understand how this guy prices a job, this guy prices a job. You'll get the feel of it because your customers will tell you feedback. Well, you're a little too high. John down the road here, he bidded it for $900, and you're at $1,050 or whatever it is. You'll get used to figuring out people's, their prices and stuff like that. But I never let that bother me, because you're in the ball game for yourself, and you're there to make money for you. And everybody's different on what pricing they have to make money. You might bid on a guy that has, that has equipment, that has payments, has everything. So he's got to bid up high. He's got to do a lot of work. He's got employees. A lot of people. If he's got a big crew, 5, 10 people that he runs, he has to sell a lot of work. And then you got me that, I was fine with doing 5 to 7 jobs a week. I was fine. I wasn't trying to burn the roads up and, be no Daniel Boone or, some lumberjack or whatever, But you got to find out what your competition, how they charge. And once you do that, you can price your jobs accordingly. And you'll pick up a lot of jobs just knowing by how so-and-so bid the job or whatever. And you don't never want to be the first guy to go in on a job and bid one. You want, if you're doing tree work, you want to be the last guy. Because then they got all the pricing they need. If they done had it 2 or 3 times, then they already have an idea of what things cost in general. And if you come in within their budget or they like you or whatever, you'll get the job. But yeah, competition can be real good for the market. It can keep prices up, or it can keep prices down, or you just don't want to be a jerk in the market. You don't want to be a jerk. It's just, and I'll give you an example. I had a guy, this has been 10 years ago at least. I had a young guy down the road from me. He wanted to get in the business, and his brother saw me up and down the roads all the time, and he told his brother, "Oh, you need to get into tree work, stump grinding business. Oh, what's his name's making a killing, blah blah blah." And so anyway, and I'm fine with that, by the way. I'm not, I don't want to, be anybody Debbie Downer or anything like that on people, but anyway, he sees me one day up at the gas station, and he begins to tell me that he's going to run me out of business and I won't survive. And I was like, I told him, I said, buddy, It'll be a cold day in hell before you run me out of business. They said, oh, no, I'm gonna, you know, I got all these guys and I'll just take your work from you. I said, no, man, that ain't how it works. You're a little 24-year-old whippersnapper. That's not how it's gonna work. So anyway, he begins to run his mouth and, well, it pisses me off. It makes me a little aggravated a little bit. So I began to pull the competition card. And that means when I went out and he was bidding the job, I bid it $200 or $300 cheaper than him. And I told him that day, I said, buddy, it's going to be hard to file bankruptcy. It's hard for me to file bankruptcy because I'm debt free. I don't owe nobody nothing. I'm a debt free company, but you got a lot of payments and you got to keep these guys going where I don't have to do that. I can pick and choose my jobs. I can do whatever. I don't have to worry about that. Well, anyway, every job I go to, somebody would bring his name up and I would just drop the price $300 cheaper than him. I'd get the job. Well, after about 6 to 8 months, something like that, he starts to sell his equipment off. There goes one piece of equipment. I hear it through the grapevine, he's having issues. He's having to let people go. Next thing, we're up at the gas station. He can't pay his gas bill of $4,000. He can't pay it. They quit letting him fuel up at the neighborhood gas station because he's been 2 weeks behind on paying them fuel, or over a month, I say that, a month. So, yeah, that shut him down. Now he has to drive way out of the way to get fuel. And just one thing after another. Well, eventually he goes out of business. It wasn't long after that. He was out of business. So, and the funny thing about it was, he sends me a text or a message through text or whatever. Hey, a year later after that, hey buddy, if you want to, I'll send you some work if you need some work. I've changed the plans and I'm doing something different. Well, that's good, buddy. Just send it on my way. I'll take it. No problems. I'll take your jobs. How much you want to send me? Send me on. Yeah, no problem. I appreciate it though, especially when you said you're going to send me out of business or, you know, whatever. But yeah, competition can be great. Now there's some people, I'll back up and say this. There's other people that if I go out and I bid a job and they say so-and-so bid it, I'll turn it down and say, no, I'm not doing it. Because they've helped me out. It's a respect thing, back and forth. They send us work. I send other people work, you know. But in that circumstance, the guy was just arrogant, young guy. He didn't know no better. But, you know, to go around telling people that, you know, you're going to do that. No, you don't do your competition that way. It's a respect thing. So, if you're new to this business, I would suggest you, you know, the best thing you can do is do a good job for people. Do it for a fair price. Do it for a good price. Do a good cleanup. And word of mouth will spread and you'll get a lot of work. You won't have to advertise. I don't advertise. I get out there, I back up. I do advertise on the free listings on Google, Facebook, stuff like that. But other than that, I don't pay for advertising anymore. I just don't need it no more. So if you do all that, it'll come to you. Just do a great job with cleaning up and just be respectful of people and say yes ma'am and no ma'am, and you'll get a lot of work and you'll prosper. But overall, no, I don't have a problem with none of my competition. The new guys, when they pop up, I'm good with it, you know, because most of my work comes from repeat customers. So it's very seldom that I get a new guy or a new person. Competition ain't really the big deal about it. You know, I pick and choose the jobs I do. I'm just at the age right now that's what I do. I mean, you know, I'm not trying to make a killing. My living's already made. I've already made a good living in the tree work. You know, like I always say, you need to save, you need to invest, and you'll prosper. It's the same thing. Every job you do, you need to take a portion of it, put back in for your retirement. Hey guys, if you like the video, hit the like button and the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.